Hi, everyone. Today, we're visiting a new city, Sydney. Welcome back to my channel, English with Maria. I'm so excited to continue our easy holiday English course with you. This is our third listening video in the series of 6. 3 focused on listening practice, and 3 on speaking practice. After learning about the airport in our first video and our hotel stay in our second video, now on this last video, we're moving on to the reason why we start our trip, visiting a new city. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any new content. In this listening video, I'm going to teach you some essential vocabulary that you'll need when exploring a new city, like Harbor Bridge when we're visiting Sydney, or like bus terminal, or the bill. We'll also practice some really useful phrases that you can use immediately, such as turn right, turn left. It takes about 10 minutes. Or, is there a table for 2? I've organized this video into 3 main sections to make it easy to follow along. First, asking for directions. Then, using public transportation. And finally, going to a restaurant. After each section, I've included a quick checkpoint with 2 questions so you can test yourself and make sure you're understanding everything. Here's my recommendation for getting the most out of this video. Watch it twice. The first time, go ahead and use the subtitles. You can easily turn them on in YouTube. Then, watch it again without subtitles to challenge your listening skills. So, are you ready to feel more confident when visiting a new city? Let's go. Chapter 1, Asking for Directions. I want to share with you my amazing experience visiting Sydney in Australia for the first time last summer. It was my dream destination, and I was so excited to explore this beautiful city. On my first morning in Sydney, I was staying in a hotel in the center of the city. I wanted to visit the most famous attractions. I went to the hotel reception to ask for directions. Good morning, I said to the receptionist, a friendly Australian woman with blonde hair. This is my first time in Sydney. Can you help me with directions to the Opera House? Of course, she replied with a big smile. The Sydney Opera House is very easy to reach from here. Go out of the hotel and turn right on George Street. Walk straight for about 10 minutes until you reach Circular Quay. You can't miss it. It's the big harbor area with lots of boats. The Opera House is right there on the water. It looks like white shells. Thank you. And how can I get to the harbor bridge? I asked. Oh, that's even easier. When you're at Circular Quay looking at the Opera House, just turn around. The harbor bridge is right behind you. You can walk across it. It takes about 15 minutes. The views are incredible. I was so excited. I left the hotel and followed her directions. First, I turned right on George Street. It's a very busy street with lots of shops, cafes, and people walking everywhere. I walked straight, looking at all the interesting buildings. Some were very old, and others were modern and tall. After 10 minutes, I reached Circular Quay, and wow, it was amazing. There were ferries going back and forth across the harbor, street performers playing music, and tourists taking photos everywhere. The water was blue and clean. Then I saw it, the Sydney Opera House. It was even more beautiful than in photos. The white shawl shaped roof was shining in the morning sun. I took many pictures and sat on a bench to admire it. Next, I turned around the harbor bridge. It's huge. It's made of gray steel and spans across the entire harbor. I could see people walking on top of it. They looked so small from where I was standing. An old man sitting next to me noticed I was looking at a map. Are you lost? He asked me in a friendly Australian accent. Not lost, just planning my day, I replied. I want to see the Royal Botanic Gardens too. Perfect choice. From here, just walk along the harbor path toward Opera House. Then keep walking past it. The gardens are right there. It's a beautiful walk. Takes about 5 minutes. You'll see signs everywhere. I followed his advice and found the Royal Botanic Gardens easily. What a peaceful place! There were huge trees, colorful flowers, and green grass everywhere. Many people were having picnics and reading books under the trees. From the garden, I had a perfect view of both Opera House and the harbor bridge together. Checkpoint 1. Answer these questions. How long does it take to walk from the hotel to Circular Quay? About 5 minutes or about 10 minutes? B, about 10 minutes. Great. What does the Sydney Opera House look like? White shells or gray steel? White shells. Great job. Chapter 2. Using public transportation. After spending the morning exploring the harbor area, I decided to visit other parts of Sydney. I wanted to go to the Bondi Beach, which I heard was one of the most famous beaches in the world. But it was quite far from the city center. So I needed to use public transportation. I walked back to Circular Quay and looked for the train station. There were clear signs everywhere that said Circular Quay Station with arrows pointing downstairs. I followed the signs and went underground. The train station was busy, but well organized. There were electric boards showing train times and destinations. I was a bit confused because I didn't know which train to take to Bondi Beach. I approached a young woman who was wearing a uniform and had the badge that said transport information. Excuse me, I said. I want to go to Bondi Beach. Which train should I take? You need to take the T4 Eastern Suburb line, she explained patiently. Take the train toward Bondi Junction. The journey takes about 12 minutes. When you get to Bondi Junction, you need to change to a bus to reach Bondi Beach. A bus? How do I find the right bus? I asked, feeling a little worried. Don't worry, it's very easy. When you exit Bondi Junction Station, there's a bus terminal right outside. Look for bus number 380, 380 or 381, 381. Both go to Bondi Beach. The bus ride takes only 8 minutes. She also explained how to buy tickets. You need an Opal card. It's your public transport card. It's our public transport card. You put money on the card. Then you tap it when you get on and off trains and buses. I bought an Opal card and put $20 on it. Then I waited on the platform for the T4 train. The train arrived just after 3 minutes. It was clean, modern, and not too crowded. I found a seat by the window and enjoyed watching the city change as we moved away from the center. The journey to Bondi Junction was exactly 12 minutes, just as the woman said. The train made several stops. Martin Place, King's Cross, Edgecliff, and then finally Bondi Junction. At Bondi Junction, I followed the signs to the bus terminal. It was right outside the train station, just as she promised. There were several buses waiting, and I easily found bus number 380 with Bondi Beach written on the front. I tapped my Opal card as I got on the bus. The bus driver, a friendly man with a beard, smiled and said, "Good morning. First time to Bondi?" "Yes," I replied. "I'm very excited." "You'll love it. It's a beautiful day for the beach." The bus ride was short, but interesting. We drove through residential areas with nice houses and small gardens. After exactly 8 minutes, the bus stopped and the driver announced Bondi Beach, last stop. I got off the bus and immediately smelled the ocean air. I walked down the street and then saw it, Bondi Beach. The sand was golden. The waves were perfect. And there were people surfing, swimming, playing volleyball. It was everything I had imagined and even more. Checkpoint 2. Answer these questions. Which bus numbers go to Bondi Beach? 380 or 381 or 280, 281? Correct. 380 or 381A. How long does the train journey from Circular Quay to Bondi Junction take? 8 minutes or 12 minutes? Yes, B, 12 minutes. Chapter 3, Going to a Restaurant. After spending a wonderful afternoon at Bondi Beach, swimming in the ocean and relaxing on the sand, I was getting hungry. It was around 6 o'clock in the evening, and I decided to find a nice restaurant for dinner before heading back to my hotel. I walked along the main street near the beach, which was full of restaurants, cafes, and bars. There were also many choices. I saw Italian restaurants, Thai restaurants, seafood places, and traditional pubs. The smell coming out from all the kitchens made me even hungrier. I stopped in front of a restaurant called the Bondi Fisherman. It had a blue and white painted front with pictures of fish and boats in the windows. Through the glass, I could see people eating and laughing. It looked warm and friendly. A waitress came to the door. She was a young woman with curly red hair and a cheerful smile. Good evening. Table for one? She asked. Yes, please, I replied. Would you like to sit inside or outside? We have a lovely terrace with a view of the beach. Outside sounds perfect, I said. She led me to a small table on the terrace. I could hear the sound of the waves and see the sunset over the ocean. It was magical. The table had a white tablecloth, and there was a small candle in a glass holder. Here's your menu, the waitress said, placing a large menu in front of me. My name is Sarah, and I'll be taking care of you tonight. Can I get you something to drink while you look at the menu? I'd like some water, please. And maybe you can recommend something? This is my first time in Sydney, and I want to try some typical Australian food. Sarah's eyes lit up. Oh, how exciting! Well, since you're at the beach, I definitely recommend our fish and chips. It's fresh fish from Sydney Harbor with crispy chips and salad. Or if you want something very Australian, try our grilled barramundi with lemon butter sauce. What's a barramundi? I asked. It's an Australian fish, very popular here. It's white, flaggy, and not too strong in taste. We grill it perfectly and serve it with vegetables and rice. That sounds wonderful. I'll have the grilled barramundi, please. Excellent choice. And for starter, our seafood soup is very popular. It has prawns, mussels, and fish in a creamy broth. Yes, I'll try that too. Sarah wrote down my order and went to the kitchen. I sat in my chair and enjoyed the beautiful view. The sky was turning orange and pink as the sun set over the Pacific Ocean. Other people were talking and laughing nearby tables. I heard different accents: Australian, American, British, and others I couldn't identify. After about 10 minutes, Sarah returned with my seafood soup. Here you go, she said, placing a large white bowl in front of me. Be careful, it's very hot. The soup smelled incredible. It was creamy and full of seafood. I tasted it carefully. It was delicious. The prawns were sweet, the mussels were tender, and the broth was rich and flavorful. While I was eating my soup, Sarah came back to check on me. How's everything? It's fantastic, I said. The soup is the best I've ever had. I'm so glad you like it. Your main course will be ready in a few minutes. Soon, she brought my grilled barramundi. The fish was perfectly cooked, golden on the outside and white and flaggy inside. It was served with grilled vegetables, rice, and lemon butter sauce that was simply perfect. I had never tasted fish so fresh and delicious. As I was finishing my meal, Sarah asked, "Would you like a dessert?" Our pavlova is famous. It's a traditional Australian dessert with meringue cream and fresh fruit. I'm quite full, but I can't leave Australia without trying pavlova. I laughed. The pavlova was beautiful, light meringue topped with whipped cream, strawberries, kiwi, and passion fruit. It was sweet, but not too heavy, and the perfect end to a perfect meal. When it was time to pay, Sarah brought me the bill. I hope you enjoyed your first Australian dining experience, she said. It was absolutely wonderful. Thank you for all your recommendations. You're very welcome. Enjoy the rest of your stay in Sydney. I left a good tip and walked back to the bus stop, feeling happy and satisfied. What a perfect day in Sydney. Checkpoint 3. answer these questions. What is barramundi? An Australian vegetable or an Australian fish? B, an Australian fish. What is pavlova made with? A, meringue, cream, and fresh fruit. Or B, chocolate, cake, and ice cream. Yes, A, meringue, cream, and fresh fruit. Congratulations, you have completed this listening exercise about visiting a new city. Let's review the most important vocabulary and phrases. Directions and locations. Turn right, turn left, walk straight. How can I get to? It takes about 10 minutes. Follow the signs. Public transportation, train station, bus terminal, last stop. Restaurant vocabulary, table for one or table for two. Inside or outside. Starter, main course. The bill, and a tip. Remember these words and phrases. They will help you a lot when you're visiting a new city. Practice using them. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and turn on the notifications so you never miss a lesson. See you next time.